What's up, everyone? We are back with another episode of the 10P DC podcast. Coach Gino here, along with Mark. Mark, give him a shout.
Yo, what up, everyone?
All right, guys. It's been a week. We skipped last week. We had some filming we had to do, me and Mark. We got some content coming out for you guys soon on the YouTube channel, so stay tuned for that. We had a good weekend last week. This past weekend, sorry, I should say, is Coach Steven ends up getting the dub at Fight to Win, along with some other 10th Planet competitors, 10th Planet NorCal Johnny as well, Chris Vickers. We had, who else was out there competing? I know Ishmael. Who else was there?
Miguel had a tough match.
Miguel had a real tough match, real exciting match. And yeah, we had a good turnout at the Fight to Win show. It was really fun, really entertaining. First time I ever went to the Fight to Win event, and it was a good time. And as I'm excited to see the competitors come back and hopefully get another fight on those cards. Mark, what's the next one again?
July 15th, Sacramento.
July 15th, Sacramento. So hopefully we can get some of our competitors out on that one as well. I don't think we've touched base since the PKB even. Like the PKB we had, did we have that a couple weeks ago? I forget. I think we spoke about it briefly in the past few episodes. Let me see. Oh yeah, we did have the PKB on the SFs on the 17th, right? So we were able to have a good turnout for those 4 fighters on that event. Went 2-2 for that night. That same day, we had a bunch of other competitors at Jiu-Jitsu World League. Mark, you were competing yourself on that day.
Yeah, I was competing at BJJ Tour, lost by 2 points.
Yeah, it was close. It was a close one for Mark. A really good matchup against the guy who won the gold. Hopefully, they can run that back. How many other people? We had Daniel on the Jiu-Jitsu World League. We had Tim, that's right. Steven's match no-showed, unfortunately. I think we had a few other competitors. Let me see. I know Rich sent them to me. But, you know, really good event that day. We closed the gym on that day. We had all the competitors come out and represent, which is great to see. Dennis was out there, very good, as well. Santi as well. And, yeah, it was a really nice day of competitions for the whole team, from the Jiu-Jitsu side to the Muay Thai side. And yeah, we were looking at trying to get, again, another one of these events soon. Jiu-Jitsu World League is probably going to return soon. I'm not sure when. Naga's coming around in September. Plenty of competition opportunities lining up in the future. So, guys, make sure you guys are getting ready. If you guys want to compete, let us know. Any other events I missed, Mark, that's coming up?
No, but I think it goes Jiu-Jitsu World League one weekend, then the next weekend Naga, then the next weekend a BJJ Tour. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah, this weekend, actually, there's a PKB in Sacramento. None of our team is going to be out there, but August 15th, I believe, we're going to do that one in Gilroy. So another point kickboxing event. Try to get another amateur bout for Coach Logan and Coach Bryson as well. They're both looking to get back into the cage after coming back from Thailand. Maybe we'll get them back in here to talk about their Thailand trip. They are back coaching. If you guys need private lessons from them, if you guys want to come and show up, do so. 6 a.m. folks, okay? For all the 6 a.m. Muay Thai folks, you guys show up, guys. Coach Bryson's back. We need to get that turnout. We need to get that turnout better, okay? The 6 a.m. Jiu-Jitsu is doing great. Coach Rich is killing it, but let's get the numbers up for 6 a.m. Muay Thai. You guys were asking for it. I need you guys to show up and show face and make sure you guys are getting your training in. We got to make sure that class gets popping off. I want to see all you who've been talking about trying to get that 6 a.m. session going, showing up and making sure you're training, okay? 6 a.m. sessions. So, next week, it is July 4th. On Tuesday, we will be closed for classes, but we're going to host a little open mat in the morning time. If you guys want to come out and train in the morning from 10 to 12, do so that you can get your training in before the festivities at night. At nighttime, don't show up at the gym. Go and enjoy time with your family. Go see the fireworks and, have a good time. And just make sure you guys aren't showing up and wondering where is everyone at. It's Independence Day, guys, okay? Take the day off. Relax. You don't have to be at the gym. If you got to work out, go find another spot. Go get your runs in, get your miles in, or find a training partner that's willing to hold pads for you or roll with you, and then you'll be able to get some work in. And next week, I'm going to be gone from the 5th to the 11th. So I'll be gone for about a week, about 6 days. So if you guys need me, don't try to find me at the gym. I'm not going to be there. You guys can message me, email me, whatever you need to. We're probably not going to have a podcast episode next week again, and then we'll follow it back up with the following week. We're looking at getting one of another guest on the podcast, Eugene, Purple Belt Eugene. If you guys don't know, he's been around the gym and he's wanting to jump on the podcast, talk about a few things in regards to training and working on your mindset for fighting. So we're going to try to get him on the podcast soon. So some exciting stuff coming up around the corner. Again, me and Mark are working on more content for the YouTube channel that's going to be coming up soon. And we're going to have a good time trying to make more and more content for you guys, making sure that it is something that you guys can be, stuff that you guys can use for your training. Excuse me. Sorry, I got this little cough. So, moving on. We got a little bit of fight news, UFC fight news. I know in a couple weeks, while I'm gone, we're going to have the big featherweight bout, the championship bout, Alexander Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez. I am super excited for this fight. I'm picking Volk for this one. I love Yair. I'm a big fan of him. And I think that he's a really skilled fighter. Pantera, he's grown a lot through the years. Yair is one of the most flashiest kickers, the most flashiest strikers in the game. And you can never underestimate him. But Volkanovski is one of the pound-for-pound best. After his last performance with Islam Makhachev, it's hard to deny Volk is one of the top pound-for-pound in the world. But debatably beat Islam with the decision. But as we all know, Islam was able to get the nod from the judges. So I'm thinking that's going to be a finish. Honestly, I think Volk's going to get a hold of him, or he's gonna be able to hurt him. And I think that Volk's going to be able to get the finish on Yair. I'm thinking it's going to be a TKO. I think Volk's going to be able to bully him once he gets into the clinches and gets into the grappling, and he's going to get a TKO victory on Yair Rodriguez. Even though I love Yair, he's tough as nails. That's what I'm predicting. Mark, what's your prediction on that fight?
I think I'll ride with you on that one.
Okay, Volkanovski, definitely. Yeah. The rest of the card, main event. Oh, wow. Prelim card, I should say main event, is Robbie Lawler and Nico Price. That's good. Sean Brady's back in there with Jack Della Madonna. Let me see. Who else is in there? We got, on the co-main event, we got Brandon Moreno versus Alexander Pantoja. I haven't seen that first fight, but this is a rematch apparently. And Moreno is finally getting to fight someone else besides Figueiredo, and I'm excited to see that one. But I can't break that down too much since I haven't seen Pantoja fight that much. Have you watched him at all, Mark?
I watched The Ultimate Fighter, but
he was on The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, I just remember him being really tough, well-rounded.
Okay, that's good. So is Moreno. I mean, I feel like everyone in flyweight is pretty well-rounded. You have the. It's rare that you find guys that aren't well-rounded at that weight class. The smaller weight classes, guys are usually specialists everywhere. Middleweight fight also leading up to that, Robert Whitaker versus Dricus du Plessis, and I'm excited for that one. I'm picking Whitaker for that. What do you think, Mark?
Definitely.
Whitaker is my guy. I love du Plessis. I think he's a good, solid fighter as well. But Whitaker has been one of my favorites for a long time. Ever since he was in the welterweight division, I've been a big fan. Oh, at lightweight, we got Jalen Turner versus Dan Hooker. That's going to be a banger.
Good one.
I'm leaning toward Turner. Hooker is, again, a beast as well, but I'm leaning towards Turner. What are you thinking, Mark?
Yeah, agreed.
Same thing. And then we got at the top of the main card is Bo Nickel versus Tristan Gore. Don't know who Tristan Gore is, but Bo Nickel's been on tear 4-0. Looks like Tristan Gore is...
He's the Ultimate Fighter guy too.
Ultimate Fighter guy too. Let me see a picture of this guy. I think I've seen him before, but looks like his record isn't as. Oh yes, I remember this guy. His record isn't as steep either. He's got 5-2, 6 fights versus Bo Nickel's 4. So that should be a good matchup. We'll see. I'm not familiar with Gore as much, so I'm not going to predict this fight. But I'm looking forward to this whole card. We have another card. I believe. Tomorrow it's what is it? Sean Strickland, right? Sean Strickland versus Abbas Magomedov, and I'm not sure. Is that the same Magomedov that I've seen before? There might be another. It might be another one of these guys. I've been seeing so many of these Russian fighters with these names. I'm getting so confused with them. But Sean Strickland, a fan favorite. Everyone loves to see him fight. We got some other fights on this card that's just been pretty stacked. I think that we're seeing the return of Kevin Lee, yes, we are seeing the return of Kevin Lee on the main event for the prelim card as well. Kevin Lee coming back from, what was it, BKFC, right? BKFC. I think he was coming back from a layoff from the UFC for a while, and he's making his return to the UFC cage, so I'm excited to see that as well. So big fights coming up, really exciting fights. I'm excited to break them down as we watch them in the future, and hopefully I can catch all of them soon so I can break them down for you guys, and we can talk about them as they come. So next couple of weeks, a lot of fights coming up. Again, it's just like stacked cards. Like week after week, we're seeing fights coming in. Next month, we're seeing Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje for that BMF title. I think it's still for the BMF title, if I'm not mistaken. We got on that fight, Alex Pereira making his light heavyweight debut against Jan Blachowicz. And man, just goes on and on, on and on, on and on. So super excited for what the future holds for the fights, and then I'm excited. We also have Terrence Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence coming in next month as well. That's going to be a banger of a fight. Boxing's finally made that fight happen. I've been super excited for that. Briefly, also let's talk about last night's the UFC grappling event. What do you call that, Mark?
The Fight Pass Invitational 4.
Excuse me. FPI 4, right? The results: Nicky Rod wins the absolute division. Who else won? I think Craig Jones wins. So Fight Pass Invitational has been going on for a minute now, and looks like it's been a fairly successful event, right? And they've been using EBI rules for the OT as well, which is great. Happy to see that. And then Fight Pass doing their thing with the grappling rule set, and UFC really diving into the sub-only rule set with the Nogi guys. We saw Craig Jones. We saw Hassan Rita. We saw Nicky Ryan. Who else was out there, Mark?
Fedor.
10th Planet Fedor. Yes, yeah. The 10th Planet's Fedor. Not Fedor, not the classic Fedor, heavyweight Fedor, but Fedor from 10th Planet HQ. Killer brown belt under Eddie Bravo. Really good grappler. Who else do we see out there? I believe
Ragnar Hocho.
Yeah, Ragnar Hocho was there. Yeah, so we had some big hitters out there, and you gotta love when the UFC puts on those limelights for the spotlights for these grapplers. These grapplers are really high level guys that are coming out and putting on a show for everyone.
I like how they had the get down rule too.
Yeah, that was funny. That get down rule. Some of the guys, what was it? A minute. If you guys are standing and then they're grappling, they make you get down, which is funny because sometimes they would do it and they would just get right back up, which is funny. Like it's one of the tactics that you can use. But grappling in itself, there's still to this day a lot of changes with the rule set that we're trying to figure out with grappling, because with jiu-jitsu, I mean, everyone loves jiu-jitsu. I mean, as far as the people who train it, obviously. But for the folks who don't train, who don't understand the sport, it's hard for them to get into it because it's not as obvious what the matches are going for, what the competitors are going for. In boxing and striking, everyone knows you got to hit the guy. In grappling, there's a lot of little nuances, a lot of little details that people don't see if they're not well versed into the sport and understand and have trained the sport. They don't understand how difficult it is to get out of a closed guard, how difficult it is to get out of a mount position. So these rule sets aim to cater more towards the average Joe who doesn't have as much understanding about jiu-jitsu and tries to make it exciting. Everyone knows that no-gi is super exciting. Everyone knows that we want to see the submissions. Everyone knows we don't want to see no draws, and we want to make sure that there's a definitive winner. So they've been running with this rule set, and I'm a fan. ADCC is another rule set that we can talk about another time, but ADCC has its own issues with, having to deal with the wrestling, having to deal with the point system, and no rule set is perfect to this day. We're still figuring it out. Even in MMA and even in like other sports, we're still trying to figure out the rules as we go. But grappling is still fairly new with that type of format, with doing big shows like this and pay-per-views, and we want to make sure we continue that momentum to try to make sure that these shows get big and we can get these grapplers paid. They're really high-level athletes. They're guys who put their life on the line, who put their time and dedication and their skills to try to go out there and then get a good victory out there for everyone, and also put on a show for everyone. Not only just get the victory, but put on a good show, get the finish, get the subs, break the arms, break the legs, go for the sleeps, and try to make sure that grappling stays alive strong. So excited to see what the next Fight Pass Invitational holds for the future. We're going to see a lot of those coming up. I'm sure UFC's got the power and the money to keep going with these shows, and we'll see. We'll see who's the next star that's going to come out of there. I still think that we're going to see most of the stars come out of those EBI format rule sets, and we're going to see a lot of those superstars come out from those specific types of matches, no gi sub only. That's what the crowd wants to see. That's what people want to know. Who can submit who can not out points. No one wants to watch points, man. No one wants to see who's going to be out pointing each other. Everyone wants to see who's going to get the sub, who's going to get the kill, who's going to be number one. And this is the type of system we want to see. So I know we're also looking. Oh yeah, I gotta before I forget. We also have a sub only tournament coming in for submissions on the shore, I believe. Let me pull that up real quick on the details. 10th Planet Sacramento's Albert Tapia is hosting that. Fresh new black belt again. Congrats to Albert. So that is going to be.
It's like September 10th.
Mark beat me to it. September 10th. Sub only, all belt levels, youth and adult. Check it out. Make sure you guys sign up if you guys want to jump in there and you want to compete in sub only. Don't worry about no points. Just go in there, try to go for the submission, try to get in there and try to finish your opponent. That's all you need to worry about on those tournaments, which is nice. At the same time, don't neglect positions. Always make sure that you guys are working your positions and not overlooking the fact that just because it's sub only that you can't fight for good position. For good position obviously will score in the tournament with points, but you have to make sure that in sub only you're still fighting for position. You're not giving up position. You're not just letting people get into side control, not letting people mount you and everything. That's a bad decision. That's a bad move, and you don't want to play your game like that. So hopefully I can make it out for that one. We're going to see hopefully a good turnout from the crowd, from the 10th Planet NorCal crew, and make sure we have a good event on that day as well. So a lot of things coming up, a lot of things moving. It's summertime, everyone. It's summer. Summer is the time when people are, trying to do a lot of things. You got to take advantage of the time off. You got to go and do your vacations. You got to also try to get in shape. You also want to do, all these little goals that you have that you can't do during the fall or winter. And, there's a lot of things going on. But my word of advice for all you guys in the summer is just to maintain some kind of regimen, some kind of consistency, and make sure you're trying to knock off these goals. We got a lot of things that we're trying to achieve, myself included. Let's just make sure we continue to try to knock out these goals and not getting too overwhelmed with all the little activities that we get involved with, and not letting all that stuff continue to distract us from our goals. Let's just continue to make sure we stay focused. Let's make sure we're pushing each other, and make sure the team is out there working with you and you working for the team, so that we can continue this momentum going into the next few months and into fall and into winter and so on and so forth. We're going to keep pushing out the podcast content for you guys. Again, Eugene hopefully is going to be up on the next episode or the next few episodes. I'll try to get Bryson Logan in here. We can talk about the Thailand trip. And then if you guys have any other suggestions on what you guys want to hear from us, please let us know, and we'll try to make that get that happen for you. But other than that, today, that's all I got for you guys. Again, appreciate you guys tuning in and listening. Mark, do you have any last thoughts before we close it out for the day?
All good. Thanks for listening, everyone.
All right, y'all. As always, train hard, stay consistent. Oh, newsletter's out soon. Check them out. Take care.